There he is.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, man, it's good to see you.
You too.
Just
I'm
start
glad
with-
to connect with you on something though. Like since we met in that hotel, it's cool to really connect and do something. So this is cool.
So, Quentin, you're in Orlando. The NBA is kicking off in Orlando. Is it surreal to see all your friends in Orlando, but you really can't go say hi to them? Is it weird?
Yeah, I think that's the weird part about it. I mean, because they got the Magic here, so everybody comes to Orlando at one point or another to see you. So I'm used to that, but not used to everybody being here at one time. Definitely not used to not being able to go connect with anybody or holler at some of your friends or peers if you want to.
Yeah. So when people do come to Orlando, when your friends come play the Magic, and I'd imagine you're probably one of the most connected people in the NBA, even though you're retired, just because of Knuckleheads, your famous podcast, which we're going to get into in a second. And so I imagine that there's always someone to meet whenever a team comes into town, or someone to go grab a dinner with, or someone come over. Is that the case, or are you kind of like detaching your life from NBA?
Not at all. I would say that's definitely kind of the case in one way or the other. Even if it's not a current player, if it's somebody from the staff or that works for the team in some capacity, that's in the traveling group that I know from my time in the NBA. So definitely, at least I always know at least somebody when every team comes in, one way or another.
Nice. So I want to kind of get back to when you got drafted. I was actually, so this is totally a coincidence. I know you're from Chicago. I turned on HBO this past weekend, and Hoop Dreams was on, and I never watched it. And so I watched Hoop Dreams for the first it's pretty long, so for the first hour and a half, and I kind of immediately thought of you. And I don't know what your experience was growing up in Chicago, how much you can relate to that, but it really got me thinking a lot. And this is just seeing that kid take the train from his all the way to St. Joseph's, I think it was Arthur, I can't remember which one. And then I remember him saying like, yeah, it's a new neighborhood, new demographic, white people, coach yelling at him. He can't stray even this much and do what he wants. If he does, he gets detention. Whole new system, so much pressure, and he failed. He kind of failed under that pressure, poor guy. And it made me think, like, everyone knows how hard it is to get into the NBA, but it's so hard to just progress to the next level before you even at college, and then even within college. So just talk to me a little bit about Chicago growing up. Yeah.
Man, for me, my experience wasn't too different than some of the things you saw. On Hoop Dreams, I had to commute from the south side to the west side from my sophomore year to senior year until I graduated. But I can relate a lot to him going to St. Joe's because my freshman year, I went to basically kind of like an all-white Catholic school, Brother Rice. So for me, it was immediate culture shock. Like you say, it's not a lot of people that look like me. They go to the school, and just minorities in general, it was very few. And so and then it was an all boys school. It was an all boys school, and then you had like literally like fathers or whatever, priests or whatever, like your teachers and stuff like that. So for me, it was something that was a culture shock. But I think even the negatives that came with it, I think it was positive for me because it cultured me. It got me prepared to be around anything and to be able to find my comfort zone and to still be able to maintain my own identity and be myself. So that 1 year at Brother Rice helped me tremendously when I transferred and went to Whitney Young from sophomore to graduation and senior year and playing at the public league. And like you said, traveling, I had to take, it was about an hour commute, you know what I'm saying, from the south side. I took the public transportation, Chicago,
in the
CTA
cold.
buses, CTA buses to the train, off the train, and then walk across to the school. So, yeah, and like I say, one of the things that I had to deal with. So for me to even get to the train station, I had to take a bus through two neighborhoods of different high school kids, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to Whitney Young, so it's like you always got to deal with different elements of the neighborhood. Back then it was heavily, with gang bangers and stuff like that. We used to have to deal with that, walking to and from the bus or coming to and from the trains and stuff like that. But those are just things that, growing up in Chicago, we learned, and we were blessed to be able to navigate and make it through, because I have two brothers that lost their lives to gun violence in Chicago. One in '92 when I was 12, and one in '06 when I was in the NBA. So I'm very well aware of the treacherous of the neighborhood in the inner cities in Chicago, and the gun gang and gun violence that comes with it.
It is going back to Chicago. So I know we briefly texted an All-Star weekend when you were there. First of all, I want to talk about your experience of being back in the first All-Star game in your lifetime as a professional, right, in Chicago. Because I don't think there was an All-Star game since, what was it, the first time since
88, since 88.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy.
88.
How did they not have an All-Star game in Chicago during Jordan's tenure? That's weird. Anyways.
Right.
So how was that experience? So when because you're growing up, you've taken the bus, you're going through these neighborhoods, you've lost two siblings, coming back to Chicago. What is that experience for you? Putting aside the All-Star weekend and NBA player, what is it like coming back to Chicago? You don't live there anymore, but does it?
No, Chicago, I always feel great coming home. It's home no matter where I'm at. Chicago it oozes out of me. Everybody know anytime I speak, anytime I talk about stuff, I'm Chicago and through. And every time I get to go home, man, it's love. Like going home for Chicago for All-Star this past All-Star weekend was unbelievable, man. For us to be able to be a part of it, and them acknowledging us as, something that's part of the fabric and the culture of Chicago, and part of the NBA, and them bringing us as retired players to the celebrity game in our city. Like, that was something that I'll never forget. I got the jersey, I'm framing it up, it'll be up, and all of that. So Chicago, man, that's just what it is with me. I'll no matter where I live, where I go, anybody that knows anything about me will always know that I'm Chicago through and through, and I bleed it.
So let me ask you this. So All-Star weekend, I forget. So I've been to Chicago maybe 6 times in my life, 3 times in the summer, and then 3 times in the winter. So the summer experience, the summer experience, and I always joke with my friends, like, New York City's nice in the summer, right? Chicago wasn't that far behind. I really think Chicago in the summer is like one of the best places to be.
Wait. You said Chicago wasn't that far behind to New York in the summer. No.
I'm rallying you up right now.
Everybody knows that summertime Chi is one of the best places in the world.
Yeah.
Summertime Chi, Chicago got anything you could think of. We got great food, we got music, we got culture, we got anything, name something. Art, theater, museum, history, whatever you want to talk about, we offer it.
Let me ask you a question. You just made me think of something. So, there's always coast to coast, stuff going on. Music, basketball, you got New York basketball, you got LA basketball. I've never heard of, and might just be my ignorance, is there Chicago basketball? I know.
Yes.
Describe that to me. What's the culture of Chicago basketball?
If you heard of New York basketball or LA basketball, or anywhere basketball, you should have heard of Chicago basketball.
What's Chicago basketball?
Chicago basketball is exactly what you see when you're watching Hoop Dreams, and when you're talking about the fabric of it's hard in Chicago. It is not easy. You earn your keep, and that's what you see when you see the type of players we produce. When you look at Mark Aguirre, when you look at Isaiah Thomas's, when you look at D Wade, when you look at Pat Beverly, Tony Allen, these is hardcore, gritty, tough. Nothing has been given, but we come to take whatever we got to get, and that's Chicago.
That's a little sad. When I was watching The Last Dance, it's like Isaiah Thomas is a Chicago kid, but he's always going to be a Detroit Piston, right? He's always going to be Yeah. It made me a little sad to think that, I don't know, is Chicago proud of him? Do they, coming up?
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
don't be sad about that. Isaiah is revered. He is one of our greatest and
Oh,
finest. Point blank. Period.
really?
No argument about that. Yeah,
Mm,
he's a Detroit Pistons. Chicago Bulls fans, they feel, and they have a right to feel how they feel about him because he was kicking their butt for a long time.
yes.
And so the Bulls fans feel, but the city, the culture, especially the basketball culture, Isaiah is a god. And
Oh,
deservedly so in Chicago. He is one of the, if not the best, one of the best ever out of our city. Point blank, period. Second, like ask anybody. That ain't disputed. That nobody in the basketball culture got no problems with Isaiah Thomas in Chicago. That man is a god out there, and
hmm.
deservedly so.
So I think perception is reality, because I don't think that what you're sharing, that perception is as strong in the broader mainstream, what you're
That's
sharing.
not important to us, though. That's how Chicago roll. We don't really, we know what it
You
is.
don't, yeah.
If Isaiah show up on the basketball scene in Chicago, people gonna love and bow down and adore him every time. Anytime he show up in Chicago, it's all love. You ain't heard Isaiah say he don't get love in Chicago.
Yeah.
You won't hear him.
So talk to me about the cold and how you were. It's bone cold from October, November to what, March, April. How do you
You
play? How do
said
you
bone
practice?
cold.
Bone cold, bone shattering cold.
I like that one.
I say it because I was once there and my bones just froze. I was like, I'm gonna literally,
So
yeah.
So that's the difference between, I think, what a lot of other cities and things do. Like Chicagoans, man, we play our ball. We summertime, yeah, and some, when you growing up, we played outdoor. We played at parks and at the courts, but for the most part, we in the gym. We play indoors, like, you know what I'm saying. Especially once you get to that point in high school where you're a solid player, you're a good player. Like, not to say you never go to the playground no more, but we don't do the whole Rucker Park per se type deal. We got indoor
You
gyms,
can't.
ISP, Pro-Am, Kennedy King. We got different things in different locations, South Suburban Pro. We got different places you go play at, whereas opposed to just being outside and it's crazy like that. Now, in those gyms, it's crazy and we got the fans and stuff, but I'm not going to say it never happens because we do have some tournaments and some things that happen outside of the court, but that wasn't, we didn't play up to it as much as a New York or LA, like out on the beach and all of that stuff. Like, we weren't that heavy. It would happen, but not as heavy as those other places.
So there's definitely an edge because it's cold, and to make it into the gym, it's like in LA, it's hot. So, you're playing, everyone's playing. So there's definitely an edge that you must have in Chicago. Like, hey, I'm actually, it's tougher for us.
I mean, I think that's just if you, especially if you come from the inner city, man, it's a survival mentality. It's
Yeah.
like legit. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You don't really know, especially when you're a young kid and when you're going through it and when you're in it, you can't say you know what's gonna happen the next day or the day after that. When you see drive-bys, you see friends shot, you see some people killed, some people live through different things, and then you have family members live or die.
I watched the when you went around, it was a Players Tribune, I think, like a 10-minute snippet or something.
Yeah.
Was it for All-Star Weekend? Was it? I can't remember, but I
No,
watched it.
one was at the one with Slam was at All-Star Weekend. The one with Players Tribune was just me revisiting my neighborhood,
Yes.
my childhood home I grew up in.
I don't know how you kept it together, man. Like, you were looking at the driveway, and you were just so. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't my first time. It wasn't my first time being there. I had been there, in the immediate aftermath, like flying home from being on the road with the Knicks, and I had just made it to the West Coast. We were in Seattle when it happened. I landed. We were supposed to go to practice. I went up, dropped my bags off, was back on the bus, and I get the call from my sister. So I'm like, I wait after he come. He had to go to surgery again. When I found out he didn't make it from surgery, that was when I got like a red eye home. So, I'm there, and the next 2 days I was there on the scene. So, like, what you saw, that's years removed from it. So it probably would have been different if it was the camera there when I first went there after it happened, because that was a different situation. Like, my brother's things were still in the house, weren't, we had to do all of that. Like, when I went there this time, what you saw, somebody else owned the house and all of that. So it was a total different situation.
How were you able to reset yourself and get back to basketball after that?
Man, it's the funny thing is like you just kind of you just go. You don't really. I didn't really know what I was gonna do or how I was gonna do it, and I don't like in hindsight. I don't feel that I handled it that great. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could have handled it a lot better if I did other things outside of what I did.
We
So
all
for me,
have things we could have handled better, man.
absolutely, absolutely.
I got a
And
whole
so
bag right here.
right. And so for me, it was like, once I went home and dealt with the funeral, it was like I had to get out of it. I just wanted to go right back to the team. You know, the team was telling me to take as much time as you need. And everybody was saying, do this and that. And for me, it was like, I can't be here because I expect to see my brother. These are normal settings where he's going to come around the corner, he's going to pull up, or he's going to do this or that. And it was like, that was killing my mindset. So it was like, I just need to get back, go try and hoop and bury myself in hooping. That really didn't work, but that was what I thought. I should have got therapy and counseling and did all the things I did later, but those were the things and steps I took back then. I was young and naive and not trying to do those things. But yeah, that was what I did then. I just pushed forward, like I'm just gonna go and just keep going.
Yeah. That's your coping mechanism, and you had to do that for that time you're in, you know? Yeah. Okay, I want to switch topics. I was researching you a little bit over the weekend. I had no idea that you were an official Jordan brand ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone wears Nikes, Reebok, whatever, Adidas, but you were. And then I heard about the story of how you became it, and you were in Santa Barbara, and Jordan looked at you guys like, "What are you wearing? Come on!" And all of a sudden, you're a Jordan ambassador.
100% true.
Does it ever change? Does it get old meeting Jordan? Like, you looked up to him. Does it get old? Do you freeze? What is it like when you talk? Is he still someone else, or is he a human being right now for you? What's it like?
It's a little bit of both, right? So I think, obviously the first few times you meet him, it's like he's not even real. He's glowing right now. This is Bruce Leroy glowing right now. But like you say, like I've known him for over 20 years now, and so for me, I don't know him to the point where it's just normalized. I don't call him on the phone. I don't text with MJ and just talk to him all the time. But I do know him well enough that we have a relationship that when I see him, I talk to him, we talk, and we jab and we kick it and we shoot the shit. But for me, there's always that element of whenever I'm around him that it's just like, this is Mike. Like, I don't care how well I know him or whatever. There's always that. And then, once we get to hanging out and you chilling, you talking or whatever, it normals out. But like, there's always that moment when he comes in or when you get there and you get around him and it's like, it's Mike again. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Well, I don't see that wearing off for me.
Well, yeah, just look at his friends, Ahmad Rashad, Charles Oakley, all the old grumpy men. I mean it with love, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't hang with a young vibe. Even Kobe, he probably wasn't friends. It was more like, hey, Mike, teach me this, teach me that. What was it like to do this, to do that? It was a mentorship. I don't think he was probably very friendly. He doesn't strike me as a guy that will get friendly with many other people just by looking at the Last Dance, unless you're like within an inner circle that knows him from like way back.
I mean, I would characterize that as let people get close. As far as friendly, I would say you would be surprised. He's friendly with everybody. It just, just kind of just comes around. He's gonna be friendly, crack jokes, and do that. Now, as far as like letting people get close to him and be in his inner circle, I think if you watch The Last Dance, I think that speaks for itself why he wouldn't. I mean, I'm a person that's not even, I don't know, a 100th of his popularity or his stature, and I don't let people into my circle because of some of the same things you saw him go through. But as far as like, friendly and da-da-da-da, that's cool. I think people would be surprised if they got to be around him and see how he really is, especially now, so far removed from really being that black cat guy. But I mean, now he's a lot different than that, even though he's still, I mean, obviously he's MJ. Never But I mean, I think people would be surprised if they get to be around. Like in the past years, we have Jordan has like a board of governors meeting every summer where all of the athletes is on the brand. We go to like a destination, whether it's Cabo or Bahamas or wherever we go. They've been to Paris and everything, where it's like a like a nice little week, and it's the whole crew and everybody hang out, and it's like you really get to see Mike just be chilling, man. He just enjoying life, having a good time.
That must be weird. When Steve Jobs died in 2011, 10, like, he's revered in the Silicon Valley with, just everything he's done, how he thinks, how he approached a product, how he built a company, how he hired people. He was the Michael Jordan of tech. And so I remember there was a very famous tech opinion blogger, Malik, who's still alive, and he wrote a post about when Steve died. He said something about he's glad he never got to know Steve the person. He only got to follow Steve from afar because he didn't want the person to then shadow over like the reverence he had for Steve Jobs. He didn't want to be capital, he wanted capital S Steve, not lowercase Steve. So in a sense, like I kind of, not that I ever have a chance of meeting Michael, but I just don't think I ever want to even chat with him. I just want to be like, hey, he's there. I'm going to just bow down.
I totally understand that for some people. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, some people never want to meet, their hero or somebody they look up to or think so highly of, and then it doesn't go that way. And then your opinion has to change based on your personal, situation with them. But that had nothing to do with everything that you loved them about. But so I get that. But I mean, luckily for me, my experience with MJ, he was obviously my childhood hero and stuff like that. It was nothing short of amazing. You know what I'm saying? He knew who I was, acknowledged me, and was cool as ever and welcoming as ever. So for me, it couldn't get much better.
So you actually shared the court with him when he came back as a Wizard.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just tell me what that was like. Like you were literally, did you guard him? Or did
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, same position. Matched up against each other, same position. I remember before the game happening, when I got to the arena, I remember getting there dumb early, crazy early to the arena, and going up to a couple of the photographers. At a lot of arenas, they have the same guys at every game, women and men actually, but they have the same photographers at a lot of the same games. They show up every night. So, you get to know a couple of the people. I went up to a couple of the people I know. I'm like, yo, I don't care. Whenever I'm on the court with MJ, I don't care if I'm standing there next to him, action for, I say, get pics of MJ and me in the same frame. When I'm just running by him or whatever it may be, make sure you get photos. So I still got a lot of little personal photos and stuff for me actually playing against him because, a lot of people didn't get that opportunity to actually, play against MJ in the NBA.
Wow. Were you let's be honest, were you 100% with him or were you at 60 just be like, hey?
Please, I was trying to go crazy. I was at whatever more than 100% could have been. Like, I mean, Mike was still getting buckets then, though. You go look at the numbers. Mike was
So that's one thing. 100%. A lot of people are like, oh, he was a Wizard. He sucked. No, look at the stats of the NBA that year. He was still top 10, 15 in points. And as a 900-year-old man.
Michael Jordan, but like he was still better than half the league, though. Like, I mean, it wasn't Michael Jordan status, but like, please, he was still a star in the league.
Yeah. Okay. I want to play a little fun game here. So basically, I'm going to. I'm a '90s basketball guy. Choose whatever shoe you want. You have only 5 choices. You get the first pick. Go for it.
I picked the retro 11s.
Okay, so that is this one, right?
Or nope, to the right.
That one. I'm glad you didn't, because this was my number 1, so I'm happy about that. Okay, next.
Okay, after that, I'm gonna go retro 3s.
Actually, I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna go with my pennies. Sorry. All right.
Okay.
Okay, retro 3s is that one here, or?
To the left of that one.
That's the retro 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then for me, I'm gonna go with my Adidas Kobe's. I love those ones.
I'm gonna go retro 1s now.
And I am gonna go with my Sean Kemp's.
Nice. Now I'm gonna go with the fours.
For these ones, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with my. I call these the Sharif Abdur-Rahims, but I know
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen too. I don't. You don't know this about me, but I used to live in Vancouver when the Grizzlies were there. So I used to go to a few of the
Okay.
Vancouver Grizzly games. So
So
big
here's a
country. Sharif, Greg Anthony, Benoit Benjamin, Blue Edwards.
Bibby.
Bibby came at the very end. Yeah.
So this is a little known.
After Steve Francis effed it up for us. Still hate his guts. Anyways.
Hey, so this is a little known fact. I wore number 3 in college and when I first got to the NBA because Sharif Abdur-Rahim was my favorite player.
No.
True story.
That's why I like you, man.
True story. I got to see him. He came to the United Center when he was a freshman at Cal and played Illinois, fighting Illini, and I was there. And I thought he was the most unbelievable thing I had seen. From that point on, I was sold on Sharif. Nobody couldn't tell me anything was better than Sharif Abdur-Rahim for a long time.
And I got my MBA at Cal. Okay, what's your fifth one?
12s.
Yeah, these ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So I'm a little nostalgic. You know, I'm choosing. I love my kids, Jason Kids, my Mighty Mouse, Damon Stoudemire's. But I remember going as a kid to the Nike store, and I could never afford these, and I'm just gonna choose them because they were like $149 back in like
the Webbers. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm just gonna go with these. Honorary mention to Shaq's pumps.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. So that was fun. So cool. I want to do another game with you. Again, 90s, 90s flavor of players. So you can only pick 5. You can only pick 5 players. These are the guys I know and I remember. I've given you a couple of wild cards. Okay. So you can choose who you want, but there's no Kobe. Oh no, there's Kobe. No, there's no Kobe because he's not a 90s guy.
So listen, does it have to be, are we doing a starting 5 or just any 5? Are we going by positions or are we just doing any 5?
Well, that's a good question. Do the 5 that works for you. So maybe it's the 5 that this is just the 5 that you want. You're the GM.
Oh.
You get first pick. I know who you're gonna pick. I'm just gonna move it. I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, give me MJ.
Okay, I gotta go first. I gotta go. I'm gonna go with the MJ stopper. I'm gonna go with the.
There is not one. That doesn't exist.
Hold on. Okay, sometime stopper.
I love my Uncle GP, but there's no such thing as the MJ stopper. He will say it himself. All right, at 2, let's go. Give me Penny.
Oh, I was gonna take that one too. Okay. All right, so I'll just move him here. I'll move Penny to point guard. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with a fresh, young-legged Antonio McDyess.
I like it.
I like Antonio. I wish he didn't get so injured.
All right, I gotta go with give me Shaq. Give me Big Shaq at center.
You got Orlando Shaq. This is Orlando Shaq.
Yeah, this is the monster, the 8th wonder of the world.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to go to the one who schooled him.
I'm not mad at that. At my, let me see where I want to go. Where do I want to go?
And you remember you have a wild card too.
Okay. Give me right now. Give me Sean Kemp.
Oh, I was gonna take him from me. All right, in that case, I'm going Chris Webber.
Okay.
Chris Webber dunking on Barkley as a Warrior Webber.
Right. I gotta get Scotty.
Yeah,
Scotty.
Yeah.
Give me Scotty.
I'm gonna go with the glide.
Oh, I got. Give me Charles as my wild card, and we cracking. Charles is the wild card. We out here.
Uh, okay. I'll do my wild card as Karl Malone. Are we good? Yeah, I think your team's pretty good, man. I'm a terrible GM.
Yeah, we cracking. We versatile out here.
I'm a
We
terrible GM.
versatile out here.
Yeah, you got some you got Penny was so good. Penny was so good. His
At Orlando
shoes.
Penny. Woo.
He's the reason I fell in love with shoes. Actually, it was Penny.
He was legit the first to me. He was legit the first person, and for a long time, the only person who truly like even tried to compete with MJ. Like it was his shoes came out more expensive than MJ's, and it was debatable whether they was more popular or not. Like some kids was like, "Nah, I'm Penny." Some kids like MJ to a period, but like some kids was shifting. Like, "Nah, I love Penny." He had the little Penny doll, little Penny. He had a movement.
Yep, yep. Okay, I want to switch to Knuckleheads. I love listening to Knuckleheads. Watching it, I love the chemistry between you and Darius. You guys are drafted in the same class. Uh, Big suits. You had the big suits in that photo.
Yes,
You guys are brothers, and it just shows.
yes,
So
sir.
what's
That's
your
my
what's
man.
what's your vision for Knuckleheads?
Man, just to continue going, man, continue going and to build our whole thing out to, Knuckleheads Network and being able to have shows under us and help other people do the same type of things we doing in whatever creative type of ways that they have in their thoughts in mind. But the
Who's your
best thing
dream?
for us,
Who's your dream? The next
MJ.
three. MJ. Yeah.
MJ is he's the unicorn, the white elephant, whatever you want to call it. He's that. He's the mythical one that we want to get.
What was your most favorite? What was the funnest interview you've had on Knuckleheads so far, without
As
offending anyone? But
it's
there's
not
always
even the truth of it is it's too hard.
yeah.
It's too hard.
There's
It's
always
too hard.
moments. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody has like literally that's what I love the most. It's so hard for me to pick one in particular because all of them have been crazy because like I say, at the end of the day, before I made it to the NBA, I've been a fan of all of these people. While I was in the NBA, I'm a fan of all these people. Even though I'm competing against them, I'm still a fan. I still go home and watch NBA games every day, even while I was in the league. So I'm a fan. Even though I'm playing against them, I like the
What
way this dude play. I like the way this dude plays. So I'm a fan
was Kobe
all
the
the way
same
throughout.
guy? Was Kobe the same guy on Knuckleheads as he was on the court, or was he chilled out?
No. I mean, you got to take into context though. Like he's a few years into retirement, and
Mm.
he's still the Black Mamba. He still has the mentality, but he's not coming and sitting down with us in the Mamba mentality. He's relaxed. He's at his offices. He's about to chill, and we about to kick it. So it was a different vibe, and that was what I appreciated to see him be able to be that way with us and not be guarded and not be in competitive mode and be able to tell us and talk back and forth with us and let us know the things that he appreciated about the way we played and we competed against him and what he saw from us. Because obviously we all know what he did and how we felt about him. So it was cool for him to be able to turn to us and look us in the face and tell us how much he respected our game and respected the way we went about doing what we did.
Yeah, and you said that he was hands down the toughest guy to guard for you, right?
Ever, period. Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Uh,
I would say a close
why?
second is KD.
AD Antonio
No,
Daniels, KD.
KD, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, for me, Kobe was just that. He was probably the only person I've ever played against who, when I was guarding him, he would do anything. He might do anything. Like you saw him get hurt, and he shoot left hand threes, and he might do anything out there on the court. And it wasn't for me. It was like I would try and get physical with guys and do different things. He was smart enough to know, like, you can't fight me out here. It ain't gonna be more than a push or a shove, and everything getting broke up. Now after that happened, I'm gonna try and give you 50. Legitimately, I'm for real trying to put a literal 50 to 60 points on you. And he's gonna do it. He don't care. I'll go out of my way to put 60 on you just because I said I'm gonna do it. So for me, it was like every time I played him, I already knew no matter how early I get to the arena, he already there, sweating, working out like he ain't got to play a game tonight, and he's getting ready to go. and he gonna bring it the same way, no matter who it is, no matter if I was a superstar, whether it was Michael Jordan, whether it was whoever you consider not to be of that stature, a lesser level player, a bench player, whatever. Kobe has got one track mind. I'm coming to destroy everything in front of me. That's what it was, and that was what you knew it was gonna be.
Yep. What would you say is what do you remember about Kobe?
That, man, that's what sticks out to the most. Is like, you know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time and tell the story all the time. I lived in LA for 4 years.
Yeah.
I never saw him anywhere else other than the gym.
Wow.
Unless it was like on TV or something. In person, I never saw him anywhere. I never saw him at a club, a restaurant, anything. Anywhere else except the arena. That was it. Like legit,
to have that focus at that young age. Do you think he had a relationship with Michael at that time too, when he was a younger Laker, or did that start later?
I'm not sure when it started, but I think he definitely had a relationship where he was reaching out, and I think you've seen that over the, since he's passed, and you heard different stories and different things. But I think it was something that they kept in the background from everybody kind of, but like they definitely had some type of a connection and a relationship.
Yeah. So there's a picture. I'm very curious what was happening in this picture over here. I'm just going to share my screen one more time. I'm actually going to run a few pictures by you, and I just want you to talk about it for a minute, each one. We've talked about some of them, so I'll skip through some of them. Here we go. Share screen, desktop. Okay. So this one we've talked about. So so there's that. This one, look, there's no shame in falling down, right? There's no shame in falling down with Kobe.
Right. That's a blow by right there. I don't know how I'm falling, whether I didn't get hit or something, but he clearly is about to go by me.
Oh, I like those shoes though, man.
Oh yeah, we both got on fire. He got the Kobe.
Oh yes, he does. Do you think he did that for you? Do you think he did that for you?
Nah, I don't know. I think he probably just got him that day. I was just the one he was playing against. I don't think it was no special shot against me or nothing.
Yeah.
It's funny. Both of these pics though, he has on J's, so that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, he has those. Yeah,
he has on J's. I have the same ones on, but he has on J's in both pics. So this is when he was doing this thing, free agency thing.
Yeah, he's got the Space Jams. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about this one here? I'm so curious. Like, LeBron's just huge. He's just big dude. He's
what am I thinking here? This was.
What's it like facing LeBron? Is it harder to face LeBron than Kobe, or was it?
No, for me, I think it's different for different people, but for me, I was more of a strength and strong type guy. So for me, LeBron was easier for me to guard than Kobe because he doesn't have the same type of move skill set that Kobe has. Kobe is fast, can break you down, handle, and do all of these fakes and all of these different things that LeBron, his strength is mainly, when you hear guys say they have a hard time with him, is because he can overpower him. And he was stronger than me too, but I still would have an easier time guarding him than if I had to choose between him and Kobe.
Okay, you were part of the Phoenix Suns team that was like 62 wins. Steve Nash, Amari, Sean Marion, yourself over here, and you won the 3-point, and you're a 3-point champion.
Yes.
I love the story of how Shaq was behind you. It was like, Jakob.
Yeah. Never will forget that. Jakob.
What is Jakob? Is it some Eastern European connotation like shooting? What is Jakob?
No, Jakob is something that we're in the hood. That's us imitating the sound of the net smacking. When you hit the all net shot, when the ball go through and it make the noise in the net, that's us imitating. Jakob.
Oh,
yeah, that's what that is.
I thought he was like.
It's not a person. That's.
I thought he was trying to like do some Peja Stojakovic type of thing with you.
Hey, that's a.
I thought he was like Quentin Richardson or something, Jakob. I thought that's what it was.
No, that is totally like him imitating the sound of the ball. That's just us in the neighborhood how we do.
Oh, see how disconnected I am.
He was putting some pages. Hey, that's funny.
Yeah.
But nah.
Okay, what's happening here, man? So you guys are friends, Chicago.
Yeah, that's my boy. I'm
He looks
visiting
sad.
something.
He looks
Yeah,
sad.
something bad happened. I don't want to say sad. I think they might have caught him and it looked semi-sad, but
Uh,
I know he was upset. He was pissed then, and more so than sad. And I'm just probably in that moment. Cause see, usually the funny thing about this pick, usually it's him doing that to me. I'm usually the upset one, and he telling me to come on, cause he usually got the cooler head than I do. So this is a good little role reversal right here for us.
Look at you here, man. You're so proud. You're like, yes, sir.
Okay, I can tell you why I'm proud right here, right? So I told you that we had the MJ has the board of governors thing where all of the Jordan Brand athletes, we come and we hang out and we vacay and we bond and we do things. So this is what's so special about being part of the Jordan Brand. He has this board of governors thing, and he has all of his designers and everything for the whole next year collection is gonna come out. So all of the guys in the brand, we all there. We're giving input and we're giving our stories and trying to put our DNA into the clothes that's coming out. So everything that you see come out after this year, what happened here in this picture, they had a contest. They broke us down into groups, and then we had to style and design pieces of clothing. And then we had to do it based on a story that you, like they big on storytelling. So we had to tell a story with it and tie it all together with our group. So this is our group. It's Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, myself, Bismack Biyombo, and Thomas Davis. So that was our group, and we had to come up. We had to sit together and talk and huddle up and come up with a common bond and with a story and everything. So we came. We all like Coming to America was all our favorite movie. So we had a bomber jacket, right? So you remember the scene in Coming to America when they got their bags stolen when they first arrived in Queens,
Yes.
and then they went and they came out with the New York Mets and the New York Jets jacket. So we made our jackets as a variation of that. And we put patches on it like they had the I Love New York, but our patches had like CP3, I Love JB instead of I Love New York, I Love Jimmy Butler. It had like my high school patch logo on it with the dolphin going through it. It had Thomas Davis, it had B.O.B. for Bismack Biyombo on the patch. So we wound up winning. And whoever wins, Jordan Brand actually made the piece of clothing that we did. And we got the custom piece of clothing that nobody else in the brand got. They only it's only 6 of them made for each of us. And like I got the green jacket and the blue jacket that we made mimicking the Coming to America. And it's like basically for us, it's a one of one. Nobody else ever has. It's just us and these other 5 guys that have it. And so this is MJ and Chemo, one of the guys that was judged. And obviously MJ, he's standing with the winning team. That's why we standing there looking swagged out, because we just won. And it was highly competitive. Don't get it twisted. It was highly competitive.
Of course. You got Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good segue to go to finish us up with a prediction. I want to do this. We're going to do this. I gave you my prediction. We can talk about mine later. I think the Blazers are going to win it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow, you got the upset in. I see you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're gonna.
I'm feeling Dame. I'm feeling Dame. I'm feeling the 2 big guys. Yep. Okay, let's go. Who's making it? Who's number 8 seed for you?
I have Portland.
I like it. All right, now let's go. Let's go between 4 and 5. Who wins?
Houston.
Uh-huh. Okay. Jazz, OKC.
I'm going to say. I'm gonna say OKC.
Yeah, I see that. I just don't know if Gobert and Donovan Mitchell are going to be friends.
Yeah, I don't know how the chemistry is. I don't know if they really back right. I feel you. Okay. Dallas, LA, I'm going Clippers.
Of course. Clippers again?
Yep.
All right, let's see this one here. I'm waiting for this one.
I'm going Lakers. I think Portland, it will be formidable though. I think it will not be easy, but I can't go against LeBron and AD. And I'm going LeBron and AD again here.
Okay. Let's go to the East.
Bucks. Even though I'm a Magic man, I gotta be realistic here. The Heat.
Jimmy Butler. Yep. This is a tough one.
Not so much for me. I think I take damn, then there is the thing with Kemba's knee though. So I don't know. I think I wanna go with the Celtics here, but I'm unsure about Kemba's knee. I still gotta pick the Celtics. I'm gonna pick the Celtics.
You know, I kind of agree potentially if Ben Simmons and Embiid aren't, the chemistry is a little wacky, and I don't know.
And they moving him to the 4. They're changing positions with him right now, so it's gonna be something new.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move the Raptors. I know you're gonna choose the Raptors. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, now Eastern Conference Final, semifinal. Bucks.
This is actually tough for me. Like I'm going to say the Bucks. I am, but I think that thing goes 6 or 7, and I won't be shocked if Miami wins. I will not be shocked if Miami wins that series. Q Rich will not be like shocked or surprised.
You know, they have Iguodala. He is you called him the glue. He's the glue.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he's absolutely a glue guy and an X Factor type guy.
And he knows the playoffs.
Yeah. Here I'm torn too. I still got
healthy Toronto.
Yeah, very healthy Toronto. Very tough and problematic and gritty nose, but I'm gonna go Boston.
All right.
For one simple reason, because I want to see Jason Tatum and Giannis in the Eastern Conference Finals.
It can be a very green final here.
When we get over to the East, I'm taking the Bucks out of the East. And then I'm taking the Clippers out of the West.
Really? Okay. And then? Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going LA.
Kawhi, MVP.
Yep. Him or PG. That's what it is. You went hard with Portland, though. That is.
I'm feeling Portland, man.
You might want to hit FanDuel up with that one. You might get something nice with that one.
I'd love that. All right, man. This has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I appreciate your energy, your humility to come and come and meet me and do this with me. You know, I remember what struck me. We were at that Players Tribune party, the Derek Jeter party, right?
Players Night Out.
Yeah, Players Night Out. And you were standing there, and I was standing next to Ronnie 2K, and I was like, "Is that Quentin Richardson?" And Ronnie's like, "Yeah, just go say hi." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go say hi." And I went and said hi, and I'm like, "Hey, man," and we just had a nice conversation, and we grabbed a coffee the next day in the hotel. And I appreciate, how we're coming so far, and I think this is just the beginning, man.
No doubt, man. Always good to connect, man. Like I try to be a man of my word, so I told you I was gonna
yes,
do
you
it.
are. Yes, you are. And yeah, I appreciate that. All right, man. Well, we will stay connected, and I'm going to keep following you guys. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the NBA. Let's go, Portland Trailblazers.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
after put that thing down on them.
Put my retros.
Okay. I see you.
All right, man. All right, you take care.
All right, that's cool, man.